Wow. How about some carnival glass? That's an important point you want to remember. Fiesta. You're probably somewhere close to $7,500. It's Dr. Lori. I'm with Caring Transition Firehouse Estate Sales in Lake Harmony, Pennsylvania, the Poconos. Come on and thrift with me. Wow. San Ildefonso Pueblo pottery from New Mexico, yes. And then you can see, of course, the hand decoration, the beautiful picture. Look how big it is. Hand molded pottery. And sometimes there's the rule in the 1940s to the 60s. Look at this mark. Look at this label. That label says that that's made by Native Americans. It says that it is from the San Ildefonso Pueblo, which is located in New Mexico. And in addition to that label, it's also marked on the bottom. The bottom's going to show you, you can tell that this is authentic for a lot of reasons. First of all, the color of the ground, or this color, right? This color of the ceramic, not the decorative colors of the birds, but this color of the ceramic helps you identify the age. It darkens over time, right? We talked about this with paintings and canvases. It darkens over time. It's also signed here on the bottom, just says San Ildefonso, and you can see the word Ildefonso is actually separated. I'm almost afraid to look at what kind of bargain this is. $40. Now you know I'm going to say it's worth $550. You know it. Fiesta. Here's Fiesta. And here are the two different marks. So that's something that a lot of you should be aware of. I know you know that Fiesta has all different types of marks, and they make new ones and old ones. You know, the beautiful colors. There's a nice, good, clear Fiesta mark for you. You know, let's see. So this says all Fiesta, 25 for all. So there's 5 saucers and 2 plates. Fiesta plates are going to be about $20 a plate. So there's 50. And then you've got 5 saucers, which are about 10 a saucer. So there's another 50. So there's 100. And then I've got this cup. And I would say you're probably at $8 for the cup at 25. So, you know, you're going to make $110 for 25. So it's a bargain. It's a fantastic bargain. The colors are wonderful. I do like the colors together. And a lot of people mix and match. Heavy, weighty, beautiful, nice thick base. That's an important point you want to remember, because that's a lot of extra material, which is extra value, which is extra quality, which is extra money. Very heavy, very sharp. And that's what you want to look for. So these little prunts, which are what they're called here, very sharp. What do they want for this? $60. Got to be 12 inches. Right, my arm's 15, so 12 inches. I taught you about measuring your arm, right? I would say easily 150 on that vase. Southern pines, Arcadian china, and there's the Arcadian china. Looks like there's a service for 16, but there are no cups. Now, this isn't a terrible thing, because a lot of people do actually resell or collect, try to add to a particular pattern, right? So if you don't have the cups, well, or if you want to sell them, you could just sell, oh, I have dinner dishes, or I have saucers, or I have these little plates. A lot of people don't realize these are for fruit, little fruit plates. Yeah, see, sauce pot with an underplate. And you can see that this is the 1950s, 60s for a couple of reasons. First of all, an Asian feel to the pattern, and then oftentimes you're going to see the sterling silver and also the platinum. Sometimes it's gold, all the way around. So this one's sterling silver. Got some contemporary pieces. Blue cobalt glass, very popular always. There's 5 of them. Well, 5 is an odd number, but if you have an opportunity to buy the odd number, buy it. Never hurts to have the extra. $20 for all of them. They're probably worth $5 each. This piece is blue-white. So for the decoration, yeah, it's nice. It's got different areas of the tonality here. Not very well hand-painted. It's just sort of pressed on quickly. It's not hand-built. It's actually just molded. And then the scroll work doesn't really go with the design. So this is a European handle with an Asian design. So it's kind of a mix-mash. So not crazy about this. They want 20. I'd say it's probably worth 12. Big lemonade pitcher, and 10 is cheap for that too. So I definitely see 30 on that. I like this. Don't you like this? There's the 70s for you. We are in a firehouse, so this makes sense, right? Really heavy drapery, which was, you don't get these now. You look at the Dalmatian too. How about to Italy? How do we know it's Italian? Didn't even look at it, didn't even pick it up, didn't do anything. The lemons. The lemons are, of course, southern Italy, Amalfi. The area, of course, actually where my family came from, these areas, a little bit of pitting right there. Look at how thick the porcelain is. Really very nice. It's not Moriage, it's all hand painted. So we've got a little bit of loss here. You see this? But this is Italian for sure. 40, I'd say 75 with the condition problems. If it wasn't with the condition problems, I'd be around $100 on that. And then I never want you to leave anywhere without a good decanter. How about a bell-shaped crystal decanter? Cut crystal, matching stopper. That burst pattern at the bottom is an indicator, of course, of manufacturer. American nice, hand done. How much for that one? 25 to make 85. Let's see what we have in this cabinet. You got some Waterford right in the back. Pretty straightforward, typical, about 35 bucks. I'm not one for woodland animals. I know people like them. Those are not all that high quality in terms of the ceramic either. That's difficult to do. I always point these out when we have them. But I would say definitely 15 bucks on that. How about an early biscuit jar? Doesn't look like it's damaged. So this has to come off. We've got to get that off. That's not going to be easy. Notice the bulbous shape, which tells you 1915 or so. That's basically one of the telltale factors. Make sure the lids fit. You know, jiggle a lid. 60 is about retail for this. This is nice. Hand painted pottery, Tennessee. This is your typical 1960s. Nice little picture. No decoration on the back, usually lower value. Typically there's going to be decoration on the front and a little bit on the back. It's got a mark on it. It says Artware, Irwin, Tennessee, and it's Clinchfield. Yeah, we know this. We've seen this before. So definitely 25 for that. For 10, there's your bargain. Gosh, that's gorgeous. Look at that porcelain. Look at the gilt work on this piece, on the handle, around the handle. The garlands here. See those ribbon garlands? So a garland would have a ribbon at the top and then the little inverted flowers as it goes. This little creamer picture, bright white clay. And this is the work of Ginori, Richard Ginori in Italy. And it is the finest china since 1735. It's really gorgeous. Look at all the pieces. Service for 12. I'm getting excited. Okay. Then we've got the sugar bowl. Look at that finial. Look at that loop on that finial. That is so beautiful. And the blue is so popular with the gold rim. And there's a nice bright mark of the very famous Italian porcelain manufacturer. It looks like a service for 12. It's in great shape and it's got the serving pieces. Very, very rare to get that. That's museum quality. You know, the bowl alone is 850 bucks. It's because that bowl would just be a centerpiece bowl on someone's table. Okay, what do you think? All of it for $2,400. That's a deal. That's a deal. Now you're going to say, oh my gosh, Dr. Lori, $2,400. Yeah. And guess what? $2,400 for these. If you were to purchase this in a higher end store, a Bloomingdale's, a Neiman Marcus, a Tiffany's, Ginori pieces like this, you're probably somewhere close to $7,500. So you're going to get it at a third of a price of the value. I can't stop by without looking at some fish. Blown glass, of course. A lot of Italian here. But see, look at the bubbles. The bubbles are how they get the fish to actually look pretty, like they're real. So here they hid the bubbles, and here they didn't. So you start to see quality here. It is hand blown, and it's difficult to do that with the rods. 50 bucks for that, and it's worth 100. Here's his mark. You know, it's nicely hand painted. It's not a high quality ceramic. People do like them for the bookshelves and such. I don't know. I have a lot of them in the backyard. I'm not crazy about them. $40 for the squirrel. I'm sorry. He's just not my favorite. In terms of quality, he's good quality, not great quality. He's probably worth 30 bucks. You don't want to go by taste, right? You don't want to go by taste. Just because I don't like squirrels doesn't mean that the squirrel's not valuable, right? And then we have these guys. Look at these guys. The Japanese knockoffs for the little Hummel figurines. Here's the creamer. And here's the sugar. You know them. They're the Fryer series from Goebel, from Hummel. These aren't made in Germany. These are made in Japan. There's a lot of Japanese knockoffs of Hummel. A lot. These are the Fryers that are the Japanese knockoffs. So they're very cute. They also come in red. They want $10 for the pair. Doesn't he look like Barney Rubble? But there's your Japanese mark. This label says $10 for the pair. So what are they worth? Well, the Japanese knockoffs, so they're worth 30 for the pair. If you had the real Goebel ones, you're probably looking at 50 for the pair. And we've got some chairs hanging around, right? So we've got them from different centuries. Let's start with oak. You see it? It's got turned elements on the top and also on the legs and the stretcher. Nice, solid, light wood. You've got a Chippendale revival chair. How do we know it's Chippendale? If you look at the back of it, you can see that it looks like a vase form that's actually been cut out in the center of what's called the back splat. That's where your back sits and gets all the support, right? The back splat. Chippendale revival, but the wood is too new to be from the early 19th century. So that one's from the 1900s. Then you've got this rush seat piece, which is a ladder back, but it's got a rush seat, but it's a reproduction. How do you tell? Two ways. First of all, you usually only have 3 of those back splat elements. See, it looks like a ladder, 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually in the old ones, there's only 3. And you can also see the label underneath, the rush seat. That's that one. The one's my favorite is coming up, and it's this one with the spindle back. Spindles are a pain in the neck because you got to dust them, but boy, are they pretty. Spindle back chair here. This one with pyrography crest rail. That's that top rail with the decoration at the top of the back of the actual chair. That's pyrography. That's actually carved out with a hot rod, right? So very heat is what actually burns it out. And then, of course, you know me, I love the desks. Here's a 1950s saddle seat desk with that little curve for your thighs. And you'd have to have bigger curves for my thighs, but this is a nice saddle seat 1950s desk, and that desk is oak too. Here's the Silver Mountain. We used to have this as kids. I didn't have brothers, so this is like the only train that was in our house because my mom could turn it off. There's an on and off switch here. So $50 for this. For the memory, $50. What's it really worth? It's probably worth about $50. There was a light on it too. I think the light is missing, so now you got to get it for less. A lot of trains and a couple of Greyhound buses. This one's pretty new. When you look at the bottom, it's a good idea to look at the bottom to see about condition, because there's a Greyhound bus in very good condition, and here's the interior of this one. This one's in good condition too. So see, like this one, how damaged that one is. There's $5 for this one, which definitely is worth $40. So even in this condition, $40. This one is a nice tin piece. I would say this one definitely is worth $25. This would be me. This is the airport bus. I'm always at the airport. The oldest one, best shape. 10 for this one too. Now, just see this. I want 10 for this one. I want 5 for this one. You know, the condition is so much better. So I'd say 45 on this one, say 40 on that one. A lot of people have trains, right? So if you have, for example, the Alaska Railroad, which is a little bit more rare than a lot of the railroads, and then look at the bottom so you see the size of the gauge, what kind of track it goes on. You know, here's a mail car. People look for, this is the Western Atlantic, but a mail car is usually very desirable. So 40 is nice for this. How about the treasures we found in Lake Harmony? Stay tuned.